What's up, guys? M.V.K here, back again. Welcome back to episode 2 of Epic Moments in Comics. You guys seem to have enjoyed that first issue installment, and some of you even said continue. And I was like, well, they want it, I'm gonna give it to them. And more importantly, by saying you do, that means you guys really like it. And more importantly, it gets me jonesing to do it because there are so many epic moments in comics. Episode 2 we're going to the world of staying in Marvel. We're going to stay in Marvel. I may do exactly what I may do is I'll do 2 moments for each episode, so I'll keep it. So basically episode 1 and episode 2 will be Marvel, episode 3 and 4 will be DC. There you go. That's how I'll do it, and then we'll start mixing it up from there. May even do some and of course independent comics if you like. But with that being said, guys, you knew your boy had to give some props to my boy, the webhead Spider-Man. And I'm sorry I'm not wearing a Spider-Man shirt. I'm actually wearing, as you can see, Cowboy Bebop. But in the meantime, we're not talking about Spike Spiegler. We're talking about Peter Parker. And we're going back to 2007. This storyline is now over... It's over 18 years... Yeah, it's over 18 years old now. My God. And the storyline that we're talking about is Back to Black, baby. This ran from Amazing Spider-Man number 539 to 542 or 43, because the 43rd was like a prelogue or something like that. Written by J. Michael Straczynski, JMS for short, and of course by artwork done by the popular and talented Ron Garney. I have met Ron Garney once, twice actually. Very nice guy, hell of an artist, and enjoy his work. Anytime he's on a book, I enjoy it. He always delivers, baby. And he delivered in this. Back to Black is a story, as most of you probably know, it takes place right after Civil War. And at the end of that series, after that event, which I am not a fan of. I don't like Civil War in general. I'll make that perfectly clear. Something bad happens to the Parker family. Once Peter had revealed himself to the world, went on national TV and said, removed the mask and said, my name is Peter Parker and I have been Spider-Man since I was 15. He just opened Pandora's box. And why? Because he was foolish enough to think that he would be protected and stay in terms of what Tony promised him. Shouldn't have done. He shouldn't have. Because he kind of just became Iron Man's like sidekick in a general sense. Even the spider armor, it wasn't the color scheme of the classic Spider-Man costume. What color was it? It was the gold and the red, hot rod red color, like Iron Man. But we saw at the end of that Aunt May, and I'm sorry for the pause, I'm trying to build up some drama here. Aunt May was shot. See, Peter, Aunt May, and Mary Jane, this is when they were still a couple, and a damn good one. Fuck you, Marvel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They were hiding out in low-rent motels because they were on the run. Peter was on the run, things like that. However, in a hotel, next thing you know, a bullet, Peter's spider sense goes off, and a bullet comes through the window. Peter Peter pushes Mary Jane out of the way, but unfortunately, the bullet hit Aunt May. Poor Aunt May got shot. What I love about this, I shouldn't say I love about it, is the hitman, the assassin. All he saw, Peter knew where the gunshot came from, and he honed on it, and all the guy, the assassin with his scope, his rifle, all you see through his scope is a fucking car coming at him. Peter threw a fucking car and chased him. However, he didn't get to him. Aunt May is rushed to the hospital. Things are not looking bleak for Aunt May. We all know that. I mean, Aunt May is old. She's not a spring chicken. And once again, I always feel like Aunt May is more like, she's not like the auntie. She's more like the great aunt. You know, she's old, but Aunt May is one of the greatest supporting characters in comic history. She's right up there with Alfred, Jonathan, Martha Kent. She's right up there. But the point about it is, she's rushed to the hospital, and Peter is so distraught because once again he knows, and we know, he's gonna start blaming himself for this, and it starts getting to him. And what does Peter do? He goes back to an area where he hasn't been since the late 80s. Goes in, and next thing you know, he's up in the Raptors, up in a sky rise, and he pulls out the black suit. He hid it there, the black suit, because it represented, the symbolism of this suit was representing how Peter was feeling, what he was going through, the darkness in it. He was angry, he was upset, you name it, any kind of emotion, Peter was upset. And Peter is back now in the black suit. After he lost, remember, after Peter lost the symbiote, he still was rocking the black suit. And he gave it up after a while because he felt like it didn't feel like Spider-Man. And yep, Felicia liked it because they were like almost like, yeah, a couple in a sense, but Peter didn't like it, and he put it away for safekeeping and so. But Peter's now out for revenge. He is out. He is taking names. He's kicking ass. He's chewing bubble gum. Never mind. But he is out for revenge, and he is trying to find out who did this. And we start seeing Peter going. He starts becoming similar to Batman. He's doing some detective work. He's listening to police monitors. He's interrogating people like Batman. Like there was one point I remember he threw a guy who sold scopes, you know, because he started researching. He saw the gun and he looked at the scope and he was like, okay, maybe I gotta find somebody in the city that uses rifle scope, this type of rifle scope. He scares the living shit out of this guy, throws him out the window. Just before this guy hits the ground, the web hits him. He catches another guy, he webs him down in the sewer, and rats come to start eating him. He's not playing for keeps. He finally finds the man responsible. The hitman was named Jake Martino. Jake Martino starts going on the run, and later on, Peter does catch him, and Martino gets injured in the process. Why? Because there was a second shooter. A second shooter just in case. If he got caught, the second shooter was able to shoot him. Peter, and that second shooter was able to shoot him. Martino he didn't make it. He didn't make it at all. He didn't make it, and so Peter goes after the second shooter. And before that, Mary Jane tells Peter that Aunt May is having some complications, so Peter actually gives a blood transfusion. Now, Peter has always been very fearful of giving his loved ones blood transfusion. Why? Simply because his blood is irradiated. Remember, the spider that bit him was what? Radioactive. So his blood is radiated, and he was very scared about that, but he did it anyway. But we find out later that Aunt May, it's not working. Peter deduces that her body is grown a tolerance to it, and it's not working. Peter and their doctors are telling him maybe you might start calling funerals home because she's not going to make it. Even MJ even says she's not going to make it. When Peter catches the second shooter, I believe his name was Jim. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. But Peter catches him. And like I said before, Peter is going more gritty. He beats the living shit out of this guy until the guy breaks, and he finally, and then all of a sudden, the phone, the second shooter's phone rings. And on the other end, Peter hears a voice he recognizes very, very, very much. Who is that person? It's Wilson Fisk. Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, who, mind you, is in jail, and he's got some police on tape that are gonna get him out of jail, and he was gonna go travel into Europe. But he always said he wanted to get back at the two characters that have always given him the most trouble, Daredevil and Spider-Man. And basically, he looked at it from a point. Spider-Man did the stupidity of revealing he made himself a target. Peter sneaks into the penitentiary, black suit. Wilson Fisk all decked out in his white suit, he's getting ready to walk out of this jail, no problem, you name it. And here comes Peter. Peter comes down. He's not talking, he's standing there. Yes, you see the size difference between the two men. And Peter's just standing there, just letting Fisk talk, just let him talk. And Fisk even says, if you come here to kill me, do it. Kill me. Basically calling him a chump, saying you ain't got the cojones to do it. You're not built like that. That's how he was looking at Peter. You're not built like that. You can't kill me. Peter takes off the shirt, takes the mask off, and says, oh, I know. Spider-Man's not going to kill you. Peter Parker is. And the battle is on. And it was something that was so great. The moment we get to see Peter marginally not holding back, not giving a flying you-know-what, and we get to see an instant why it is not wise to piss this guy off, why we as Spider-Man fans know that why indeed this mother holds back, why he pulls his punches, he pulls his kicks, you name it. Peter humbles Wilson Fisk worse than Matt has ever done. Peter is beating the living crap out of Kingpin. All the other prisoners are watching this. Peter is insulting him left and right. Peter picks Wilson Fisk up by the skin, picks this 400-pound man up like a lightweight, just picks him up and is holding him there, talking shit. And once again, Wilson Fisk is saying, kill me then. Peter was going to do it, but he was going to do it in a different style. Peter, at this point, you got to remember, at this point, Peter still has his organic webbing, and this man here puts his hand in the throat, almost in the gullet of Wilson Fisk. He's got his hand, and he says, I should web your throat up till you choke to death. You can see the look of fear on Wilson's face. I ain't never seen that look before in a long time. At this point in time, when I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. It's almost to the point Peter is breaking all his morals that he built up upon himself. He's almost forgetting the lesson that Uncle Ben taught him about great power must come great responsibility. He is forgetting all that. But he doesn't do it. Kingpin almost laughs and almost says, almost in a sense saying like, I knew you couldn't do it. But Peter says, oh, I would have done it, and I will do it. And he leaves it with this. He said, I'll come back He said, you better crawl back to your cell. But the moment May dies, you'll see me again. And I'm gonna finish what I started. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, my pack, anybody listening, the moment we saw this is one of those moments in any Spider-Man fan's top 10, top 5 favorite Spider-Man moments. To see Peter humble Wilson Fisk. And there are many times Wilson Fisk, in the comics, he comes off very smug and he feels like he's untouchable. He comes off just like Al Capone, thinking he can't be killed or beaten. He's always seems to have us. He's always like 2 steps ahead of you because he's playing chess and not checkers. But at the same time, Peter came in there and I loved it so much. And you know, the symbolism of that, it wasn't Spider-Man. This was like the first time he really chose the duality of who he was. He was like, Spider-Man's not gonna kill you. May Parker's nephew is gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you. That was one of the most epic moments. I could not believe it. And I remember reading that. This was 2007. I was in my 20s, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I was. No, I wasn't. No, yes, I was. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I was 20. I was 25. Yes, I was 25 when that happened. Yes, I was 25. So you can imagine 25-year-old Chris reading that, and my eye, and I'm like, and there's a part of me that's loving it, seeing Wilson Fisk get beat down, but then the part of me is also like, don't do it, Peter. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't do it. This is not gonna solve anything. I know you're angry. I know you're mad, but there's a part of me that's like, please don't do it. And that was the suspense that JMS gave us in this. It was just a 4-part storyline. And it was great. It was great to see that moment, to see Peter beat the crap out of Wilson Fisk. And he deserved it. Don't get it twisted. He deserved it. But still, you don't want to see Peter killed. And no matter what, even the state of mind that Peter was in, if he had killed Wilson Fisk, that death would have been on his conscience for the rest of his life. And he would have, for a fact, Peter would have really contemplated, what have I done? Why did I do that? I know Aunt May means a lot to me, but at the same time, I broke my rule. I broke my code. I failed Uncle Ben. That was what he would have thought. So, but to see him just humble, like I said, don't get me wrong, when Daredevil and Kingpin go at it is great, but it's on a different level. This fight was on a upper tier level, especially for Spider-Man, because why? He's fighting a human. He's not fighting one of his superpowered villain from his rogues gallery. He's fighting a very strong individual in his rogues gallery. Don't get it twisted. Remember, 2% of Wilson Fisk's body is fat. That 390 something pounds is all muscle. And I know I've seen people say like, man, Marvel needs to just come out and say he was a mutant. Too late in the game to do that, my boys. And don't give him any ideas either, people. I don't want to see that. It is better that Wilson Fisk stays what he is. He's just a man with incredible strength and stamina and cat-like agility, but he's not superhuman. To see Peter humble Wilson Fisk was epic. It was amazing. It was spectacular. It was sensational. But we saw what the outcome would be later on. And it sucked. And nobody wants to see Aunt May get hurt, but she's been dead before. It's like, but yeah, it was epic, and I loved it. I loved it so much. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man moments in Spider-Man in the 60 years this character has been around. It is one of my most epic moments. I love it. So when people ask me, hey Chris, what's one of your favorite Spider-Man moments? You know what I say? You want to know what I say? I say it all the time. Back to Black. When Peter fucked up Kingpin, humbled his ass. Yeah. Well, guys, that is it for today. This is episode 2 of Epic Moments in Comics. You guys tell me, did you like this moment? Where does it stand on your moments in comic books? I'd love to know. Is it your favorite Spider-Man moment like mine? Or is it not? I want to hear from you. Please leave your comments in the section down below. And I will see you guys next time with another Epic Moments in Comics. Deuces.